Hey, what's going on, Ecom Dominators? Cynthia here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make money on Pinterest. Now, if you guys know anything about what I teach, I always say you definitely want to diversify your traffic sources. You know, Facebook and Instagram are not the only game in town. There are definitely other social media platforms that you definitely want to get on. So these include Pinterest, Snapchat, Twitter, Reddit, so many different social media platforms. Also, guys, if you kind of look at different social media platforms, there are different audience on these places. And so people who are on Pinterest may not be on Facebook, and people who are on Instagram may not be on Twitter. So in order to maximize your reach to as many people inside of your niche as possible, you definitely want to expand on your traffic source, because not everyone in the world is on Facebook. Not everyone in the world is on Instagram. Okay, so I do know a lot of people who just use Pinterest, and so it's very important that you guys tap into Pinterest right now when the ad cost is still very cheap, and Pinterest right now is the hottest place where you can get free organic traffic. Not just free, but also targeted traffic, which I will show you exactly how to optimize your pins to do so. All right, guys. Also, if you love content just like this, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that bell notification so I know to make more videos just like this. Alrighty, guys, let's get started. So who should use Pinterest? I get this question a lot from everyone who owns a Shopify store who say, Cynthia, I'm doing dropshipping, print on demand. You know, is Pinterest a good place to get traffic? Or, you know, Cynthia, I'm a blogger. Can I use Pinterest? Or I'm an affiliate marketer. I sell my own digital products. I have my own service, my own software. Can I use Pinterest? And my answer is always 100% yes. If you are looking to drive traffic to your website, you are selling anything online, you need to get on Pinterest. And it's very similar for other traffic sources. You know, you definitely need to get on Facebook, get on Instagram, get on Twitter. You know, if you have the time and the manpower to get on every single social media platform, you are looking very, very good, because, you know, usually when you want to build a brand, you definitely want to build it on every social media platforms. So definitely, if you are selling anything online, you have a blog, you have a YouTube channel, whatever it is, you definitely need to use Pinterest. Also, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make money on Pinterest. So we're going to be covering a few different topics. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how to drive free organic traffic. Another thing I'm going to talk about is you must have a good offer. So this means if you're selling anything, a physical product, a digital product, affiliate product, whatever it is, you need to have a good product to offer to your niche audience. Why do I say that? It's because when people are trying to run traffic, whether it's paid or organic, people often say, you know, Cynthia, my ads aren't working, or this traffic source isn't working. The problem is people don't often look at their actual product and say, hey, do I actually have a good product? Because it does not matter how good your ads look, how good your posts look, how good your pins look, how good anything looks, and I don't care how good your marketing skills are. If you have a bad product, no one is going to buy. So it's very important that people spend a lot of time on product development, meaning if you have your own print on demand store, are you actually taking the time to develop your designs, or are you creating any type of designs and slapping it on a t-shirt? Okay. Or if you are dropshipping from AliExpress, have you done the research in the beginning to find a product that people actually want, that it actually solves a problem? So make sure you do have a good offer. Oftentimes when people say Pinterest doesn't work, is because their product isn't good. Next thing I want to talk about is how to create a good pin to drive clicks to your website. Now notice I say good pin. Whenever I teach my students on Pinterest, I always say that whenever you're learning a new social media platform, you need to speak the language of that platform. You need to understand that, you know, on Pinterest, the pins or the image posts that you guys see are called pins and not post, kind of like on Facebook. So the terminology is very, very different. So you definitely want to start using the word pin instead of post when we're talking about Pinterest. Also, guys, if you stick to the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my #1 recommended software to help you automate this process. Oftentimes, when people are marketers or, entrepreneurs, we actually don't have a lot of time to kind of go on Pinterest every single day and then, create a pin, posting the pin, etc., etc. Okay, we have to deal with Facebook, we have to deal with, Instagram, whatever you're doing. We want to definitely make our process a little bit easier. We definitely want to automate it as much as possible. So you can use the software that I'm going to recommend, or you guys can obviously hire out a VA to help you guys do this kind of on autopilot. So a lot of people kind of, overcomplicate things when they think about Pinterest, like, oh my God, it's so new, it's so different than Facebook and Instagram. But I kind of want to illustrate how similar Pinterest is to a lot of the major social media platforms. So basically, you want to run your traffic from Pinterest to a specific niche audience, and then you want to have them go to your store, and then that's how you're going to make the sales. So the process is very, very simple. It's no different than if this was Facebook or Instagram. We're still running the traffic the same way, but the way that we optimize it and the way that we create our pins may vary just a little bit, which I will show you in today's video. All right, guys, so a little bit basic marketing 101 is I sort of ask myself these questions when I am crafting my pin. And that is, #1, does my product or my article, does it solve a problem? So this is very, very specific and important if, say, you are drop shipping from AliExpress, because oftentimes when you pick a product, ask yourself, hey, does my product help solve a problem? Remember, people don't want to buy a drill. People want a hole in the wall. So when you are crafting your pin or your marketing videos, make sure that you focus on solving the problem than actually selling your product. So that's very, very important. Another thing that I ask is, does my pin appeal to a passionate audience? Now, this is especially very true for people who are in the print-on-demand space. If you are selling a dog t-shirt, people who are passionate about dogs will most likely purchase it. But if you're going to pick a niche that nobody likes, or only probably 1,000 people in the entire world likes, you're going to have a hard time selling that product. And in fact, you're going to have a hard time scaling that product. So make sure that you are creating a pin or you're picking a niche that have a very, very passionate audience. Another question I ask myself is, what is the main purpose of my pin? Now, I will explain this a little bit more because I'll give you guys a few examples, but ask yourself, does my pin serve a purpose, or is it just some pin that I threw together? Another question I ask myself is it appealing enough that someone would be curious enough to click on it? And I'll show you guys an example later on what I mean. But basically, you want to create your pin as interesting and as appealing as possible that people would be like, huh, that's interesting, I want to go ahead and read about it. Oftentimes when you're going on Facebook and you're scrolling through your news feeds, how many times have you guys stopped to kind of look at an image and say, hey, that's interesting, or the headline caught your attention and say, oh, this is interesting, and you actually clicked on it to read it, right? It's the same thing. It's marketing 101, which means we definitely want to make our pins, capture other people's attention so that they are more likely to click on it. Remember that when you're creating your pin, it's literally the same thing as the Facebook news feeds, because you're literally competing for attention from the thousands of pins surrounding your pin. So you definitely want yours to stand out better than the pin that's next to yours, okay? All right, guys, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the curiosity factor, as what I just said. Your pin must spark that certain curiosity for people to want to click on your website. And at the end of the day, we do want clicks to our website. Why? Because if you have a pixel already on it, you can remarket to them later on. Okay, so if you look at these two pins over here, the first pin on my left says 5 things to know before your first time in Egypt. Now, the headline is pretty good. There's nothing wrong with it. But what I have a problem with this pin is the image. The image of this is the pyramids. Now, if you look at the common knowledge of a layperson, almost everyone knows that there are pyramids in Egypt. Okay, so this pin doesn't appeal to me as much. It doesn't, arouse my curiosity to be like, oh, I'm so interested in wanting to click on this pin. Okay. But if you look at the pin on the right side, it says 7 tropical islands you won't believe are in Egypt. And it has a photo of a beach and, clear waters. And it's something that not a person who has no knowledge of Egypt would know about. So for me, if I'm looking at these two pins, I would more likely click on this pin if I'm searching for travel destinations in Egypt. That, hey, I'm curious to know about this now because I did not know Egypt maybe had beaches. I didn't know any about this. So this is what I mean by using striking photos and lesser known concepts, right? You don't want to use images that people probably already have a common knowledge of. You definitely want to use images that people are saying, huh, I didn't know that. Now I really want to learn about it. So definitely I would do pins more like this. This is how I'm getting clicks to my website. Now, of course, you do have to do a little bit of research ahead of time, but that just goes into any type of marketing. You have to do your research. Also, guys, the use of deadlines. And what I mean by deadlines is it's a time frame which you can obtain a certain goal. This usually performs better than pins that does not include a certain time frame, and this is what I mean. So look at this pin on the left side. It says how I lost 72 pounds in 4 months without starving, right? 4 months is the time frame. The one on the right says how to lose 20 pounds in just 1 month. So 1 month would be the time frame. So when I am testing out these pins, I have realized that whenever I put in some sort of deadlines, that pin gets more clicks and more engagement than if I were to say how to lose 20 pounds, okay, or how I lost 72 pounds without starving. Okay, if I just take out the deadlines, my pins doesn't perform as well. All right, guys, I also want to show you guys one more example of the curiosity factor, because I feel like I want to kind of just kind of drill it to your guys' heads that how important it is when you are crafting your pins. So look at the pin that I have on the screen. It says 50 snacks that I use to lose 30 pounds. Okay, so in this pin, I see some sort of dessert. So it looks like apple crumb or something, but I am very interested in clicking on this pin because if I'm searching for snacks to eat in order to lose weight, this will appeal to me even more. So I would love to, this is a pin that you want to create if you are in, say, the fitness niche or healthy eating, vegan, whatever. Versus this pin over here. It says 90 plant-based recipes for beginners. So over here, I'm seeing tons of pictures of, veggies and fruits. And, for the typical common lay person, I already know that if I eat a salad, it can help me lose weight. Okay, so this pin doesn't exactly appeal to me as much because I'm not too interested to learn more because I felt like I've read 1,000 different articles that say the same thing. Okay. Versus this one is not something that I see on a daily basis, snacks like this that can help me lose weight. So the next thing I want to talk about is optimizing your pins. And what I mean by that is you need to optimize your pin in order to get that targeted organic traffic on Pinterest. So you do not want to skimp out on this part. This is literally the meat and potatoes on what you guys need to know when it comes to getting free organic traffic. So the number one thing you need to do is make sure you do your keyword research first. Okay, and what I mean by that is you want to go ahead and type in your main keyword inside Pinterest search bar, and then Pinterest will automatically suggest other popular keywords that people are actually searching for. Because in order for your pins to be discovered, it needs to be searchable. There's no point in creating, a unique headline that no one is searching for, because at the end of the day, Pinterest is similar to Google. It's a search engine. So what I always recommend to all of my students is you definitely want to figure out what people are searching for, right? What you want to be searched for. Then you want to go ahead and then create the pin. Oftentimes people create the pin and then they're saying, Cynthia, what should I be optimizing this pin for? No, it's the other way around. I had a student previously that I created 10 pins for his Shopify store and say, Cynthia, I don't know what to name it. How do I optimize it? And I always say, make sure to do your research first and then create your pin around those keywords. All right. Also, guys, right now I'm going to give you a quick example on what I mean. All right, so here's an example. When I type in yoga as my main keyword inside Pinterest, automatically, like I mentioned before, Pinterest will give me suggestions of the popular keywords people are actually searching for. So they'll automatically list it here. So it includes yoga poses, yoga fitness, yoga quotes, outfits, so many different things. And if I click on one of these, Pinterest will automatically suggest other different keywords that I can add on to my headline. So I have things like yoga inspiration, yoga photography, yoga for weight loss, yoga lifestyle. There are so many things that are being searched right now by other people. So if I am in the yoga niche, say for an example, or I'm selling leggings and I want to create an article for people that like yoga, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to look at this and say, hey, maybe I want to create an article for people that like yoga poses for beginners, okay? And over here, I created this pin that says yoga for beginners, and I can say 5 easy poses, okay? So I'm going to optimize my pins for search now because I've already previously done my research, okay? And now I'm going to create the pin, okay? So next thing I want to do is I want to send that traffic to a blog article that I created. So I can create an article that says 5 easy yoga poses for beginners, okay? And then within my article, I can actually sprinkle some links to my Shopify store that, if I'm selling, leggings or whatever, and I'm say, hey, why not also check out the leggings that we have? So that's how you're going to make your sales on Shopify, ClickFunnels, wherever you're selling your products. This is how it should look like. All right, guys, so right now I want to show you guys a quick demo on how to do this. So I kind of gave you an overview on how to optimize your pin, how to create your pins, how to create that curiosity factor. So right now I'm going to show you guys, step by step on how I do it, so you guys get a sense of, how I actually put everything together instead of just hearing me talk. All right, guys, so let's hop on over. Okay, so right now I am inside of Google, and as I mentioned before, you definitely want to do your research ahead of time before jumping into the pin. A lot of people like to just jump into the pin, create, do this, do that, but they neglect to do research prior, okay? So let's just say that my niche is in the travel niche, and I want to create a pin specifically for people that are looking to travel to Egypt. So I'm gonna go to Google and type in Egypt attractions. Okay, as you can see, I see a lot of pyramids, obviously, but I just click this button that says more things to do, and automatically they're gonna show me so many different places that you can visit inside of Egypt. And over here, I see beaches, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. And it's basically going to show you different beach areas that they have in Egypt that you can actually visit. So over here, I'm going to find a place that catches my attention that I kind of want to use as my main image when I'm creating my ad. Okay, so automatically the one that caught my attention is this one over here. This beautiful island. I love this image. So what I'm going to be doing is I can either go to canva.com to create my pin, which is a free tool if you don't want to invest in Photoshop or whatever. But personally for me, I prefer using Photoshop only because I have a little bit more control over how I want my pins to look like. All right, guys. So if you guys don't want to invest in Photoshop, I recommend going to Canva. They have already pre-made some really nice Pinterest templates that you guys can literally use. But in today's video, I'll be showing you how I create mine inside of Photoshop. So as we just saw, I'm going to use that image that we just saw right over here as my main image for traveling to Egypt. So I'm going to come on back over here, and I've already grabbed that photo. All right, so it looks like this. Okay, so automatically I like how my image is looking because I'm going to definitely put my text up here, but when people are searching for best destinations in Egypt, they're going to more likely click on my pins than click on a pin which is about pyramids, because I've actually done my research and there are 1,000 different pins that says best travel destinations in Egypt, and they all have pyramids. All right, so mine kind of stands out in that aspect. So I can go ahead and put in my headline: top 5 beaches to visit in Egypt. All right. And so, people who don't know that there's actually beaches in Egypt will look at this pin and say, hey, I did not know that Egypt has beaches. I'm going to click on this pin. All right. So also another thing that I include is I include this kind of red border right at the end of my pin, okay? And most people don't do that because they think it takes away from their pin's aesthetic, but to me, it actually helps with branding. So when you're creating all your pins, I always add some sort of URL link to my website or some sort of logo. By the way, if you guys are already familiarized with how to create your own pins, you guys can go ahead and skip this, but I try to make it as quick as possible because usually people say that my video is a little too long, so I want to keep it very short. So this is what I will include. Basically have a nice big bold title: top 5 beaches in Egypt. Have a nice image, and then put your URL, or you can put your logo at the bottom here if you guys want. So this is actually a very simple way on how you guys can create a pin. Again, you guys can obviously go in Canva and create this yourself. I just feel like when you use Photoshop, you have more functions and more, leg room to create a better pin. Oftentimes when I go on Pinterest, I see so many people use the same exact templates from Canva, and usually they're not as great as if you create a unique one yourself. All right. Also, here's a little tip that I have for everyone is notice for beaches, I kind of want to highlight that word beaches. So what I did was I actually created a second letter behind beaches, and all you have to do is create a different color. And so if you place it right behind the black text, it'll stand out a little bit more. So I'll show you guys what I mean. So you guys can see I highlighted this one in yellow, and then all I have to do is literally drag it right beneath beaches, and automatically this text would pop up better on this pin than if I were to hide this pin and it's just black. Okay, so I do this. It's a little tip that you guys can do to kind of make certain texts in your headline to stand out. All right, so all I have to do is I'm going to save it, and I'm going to hop on over to Pinterest and showing you exactly how I create my pin and optimize it for search. All right, guys, let's hop on over. So right now I am inside one of my test Pinterest account. So it's very simple on how you guys can create your pin. It's almost pretty similar the way you guys will create a Facebook post. So the first thing you want to do is click on this red plus sign, and I'm going to click create a pin. And then I can go ahead and add in my image. So once I add in my image, I can go ahead and give it a title. Now, make sure that you've done your research beforehand. And like I just showed you guys, I have done my research previously. So I'm going to type in top 5 beaches to visit in Egypt. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give our pin a description. Now, oftentimes the pin description is very important when we want to optimize for search. So most people just focus on the headline. I focus on the headline and the description because, believe it or not, Pinterest take your description into consideration when they are trying to figure out whether or not they should show your pin for this specific search. So let's hop on over back to the PowerPoint. All right, guys, I kind of want to show you how this is done because sometimes it's very hard for people to visualize certain things. So I'm going to talk about crafting a description here. So like I said before, you want to go ahead and figure out what people are searching for. So when I type in things like Egypt travel, I'm getting popular keywords like Egypt travel clothes, photography, beautiful places, guides, tips. These are things that people are actually looking for when they're looking to travel to Egypt. And so when I'm creating my description, I would like to kind of hit a few of these popular keywords because I don't want to just rank for, traveling to Egypt. I want to rank for other things like this. So this is how I would craft my description. So I would say, do you want to know what are the best travel destinations in Egypt? Okay, so I added travel destinations. Okay, people are searching for that. This blog will show you the top 5 must visit beautiful places. So notice I added beautiful places in here. Okay, people are searching for that. And also I said you can use our Egypt travel guide to plan your next vacation there. So notice I put travel guide as right over here. People are searching for that, including some tips for packing your outfits. So I've added tips because over here it says some Egypt travel tips. Also, I've seen it over and over that people are actually searching for clothes for women. So I've also included tips for packing your outfits. Now, notice the ones that highlighted in red are the keywords that I'm kind of wanting to go for, in addition to the main keyword I want to go after. So the main keyword I want to go after is traveling to Egypt or top 5 best beaches to visit. Okay, I want to rank for many, many other things because oftentimes when people are searching for Egypt travel guide, they might be interested in my pin as well. All right, so it's very important that you actually take your time to craft your description. So now let's hop on back to Pinterest. So now that we figured out how to craft our description, I'm going to go ahead and paste in the description I just showed you guys over here. Then you want to go ahead and add your destination link, so whatever your URL is. So in this case, I will put my URL down here that I have here over here. And then I can go ahead and publish it. I can select one of my boards I want to select and then publish it. Obviously, this is a test account, and so you won't find my boards here, but I would have, if you are in the travel niches, I will put, different boards for maybe different countries or different boards for beaches or, rainforest, if you guys want to do it that way. So make sure you guys have boards inside of your Pinterest profile that will show you, make sure your pins are categorized because most of the time if people are coming into your profile and looking through your boards, they kind of want to know more maybe about beaches, or they maybe probably want to know more about Egypt. So if you have your pins all in one place, people can look for it better and even become a follower to your page. All right, so this is basically how very simple it is to get that free organic traffic from Pinterest. So right now, let's hop on back, guys. And as promised, guys, I'm going to show you my #1 recommended software that you can automate your Pinterest account super, super easily. All right, so for me, it's very important that you're posting daily because you definitely want to keep your Pinterest account active. It's very similar to Facebook, where I also recommend pinning or posting daily so that you can get that free organic traffic and also lets Facebook know that you are an active fan page. So for Pinterest, I do recommend posting at least 5 to 10 pins per day. And I use a software called Tailwind where I can schedule all of my pins to be automatically posted at different times of the day. You know, what I like about Tailwind is I can actually choose, hey, I want this to be posted at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Okay, and they will automatically do it for you. It's really a set and forget type of thing. So for me, I have a very busy schedule, so I actually use Tailwind so I can schedule all of my posts, and I do it at the beginning of every month, and I don't look at my Pinterest account till the next month. And so you really only take maybe a couple of minutes of your day to kind of schedule your pin to be posted. So if you guys are interested, you guys can claim your free trial at tailwind.pinformula.com. That's tailwind.pinformula.com to claim your free trial. Also, guys, before I let you guys go, if you do want to master Pinterest traffic, and I'm talking about organic traffic, Pinterest ads, I recommend that you guys check out my paid program called pinformula.com, where I'll take you guys more in depth about different organic methods. And I also have a huge section where I hit on Pinterest ads. Right now the ads on Pinterest are having such a low cost per click than Facebook, only because it's still a newer platform and they're trying to get new marketers to kind of use their ads on their platform. So they're going to reward you with a lower ad cost. So a lot of my students have been having a lot of success using Pinterest ads, but also getting that free organic traffic. So if you guys are interested in learning more, I recommend that you guys go ahead and check out my Pinterest masterclass at pinformula.com. Also, if you have any more questions, feel free to leave those comments down below this video or join my free Facebook group where you can mastermind with other people about Pinterest. All right, guys. Also, if you love content like this, don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel so I know to make more Pinterest videos just like this. See you guys in the next one. Live free.